Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rebecca, and today we're going to be making a really quick and easy breakfast or brunch item. We'll be making an impossibly easy Reuben pie. So this is a Bisquick baked dish recipe that uses all the nice ingredients that you would find in a Reuben sandwich, as well as the Bisquick baking mix to make a delicious and fast breakfast or brunch item. So if you want to have the flavors for St. Patrick's Day or of a Reuben in something other than a sandwich or for a dinner or lunch, you should try this recipe out. So let's add our few ingredients together to make this impossibly easy Reuben pie. Okay, so for making our baked dish today, we'll be using a 9x9 or 8x8 baking dish. And I have a USA pan one, so this is a really nice non-stick one. Works great for baked dishes such as this. So to the baking dish, we're going to add our main Reuben ingredients. So we have some corned beef. It's about a cup of some cooked corned beef. This is great use of leftovers, or you can very easily prepare a corned beef and cabbage meal. You can check out my video on how I do that, and then you would have some corned beef left over possibly to do a nice breakfast or brunch item as well. Now we'll add 1 cup of sauerkraut. So I have my homemade and home fermented sauerkraut. This is a caraway flavor, and it's about 1 cup, and I drained it out real nicely so it's nice and dry. Just layer that on top. You'd also use store-bought canned or sauerkraut from a bag. Then you just drain it and strain it out really nicely, squeezing it through a paper towel. Then use about a cup for this recipe. Next we'll use about a cup of a shredded Swiss cheese. This is a blend of Swiss and Gruyere. So I'll put about a cup in there, and I'll save the rest to go on the top. Now we're going to put together our Bisquick ingredients. First we'll need 1 cup of Bisquick baking mix. To that we'll add 2 eggs. And a 1/2 cup of milk, as well as a 1/2 cup of half and half. Next we'll add some seasonings. So about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And I really enjoy the caraway seed flavor for a Reuben, so I'm going to add another teaspoon of caraway seed. Now that is totally optional. You can add that if you wish or leave it out. Now I'm just going to mix together our ingredients here. Alright, now we'll just simply pour our Bisquick mixture over the top of our corned beef and sauerkraut and shredded cheese that we have in the baked dish already. Alright, there we go. We have this all mixed together. So now let me just sprinkle the remainder of that shredded Swiss and Gruyere cheese. And now I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, so we'll bake this for about 30 minutes until it's nice and golden brown, and when I stick a butter knife through the center, it comes out nice and clean. Alright, our impossibly easy Reuben pie is finished baking. It took about 30 minutes. And it's nice and golden brown on top. So we'll let this cool just slightly, then I'll cut out a piece and we can have a taste. So what I like to do for serving this is I like to drizzle a little Thousand Island salad dressing on the top, and it just gives a little bit of a sauce, and it's similar to that you would have on a Reuben sandwich. So now we'll just let this cool slightly and we'll have a taste. Alright, so I just cut off a little portion of our Reuben pie, and as you can see, There's nice big pieces of corned beef and the sauerkraut and that cheese throughout, as well as on the top. I made a nice crispy topping to our Impossibly Easy pie. So now I'll just drizzle some of that Thousand Island dressing on top. And now let's have a taste. All the great flavors of a Reuben with that Bisquick mix and the eggs that just kind of pulls it together. If you wanted it really thick and hearty, you could double up the eggs in a Bisquick mix and that would make it probably about twice as thick as this. But I really like the thickness and the presentation and just the flavors of how this recipe is that we put together today. And when you pair this with some rye English muffins, you can see how I prepare and make some homemade rye English muffins. That would be delicious as well. This would be fantastic for breakfast or brunch. If you're having a St. Patrick's Day get-together, or perhaps you have some leftover and you want to use it up for something else besides a standard Reuben sandwich or a corned beef and cabbage meal, you should give this recipe a try. If you'd like more inspiration or recipe ideas on how you can use up your extra corned beef and cabbage, you can check out my playlist on the topic where I have a number of recipes from appetizers, lunch, dinner, brunch, you name it. So I hope you're inspired to try out some new recipes for using up your corned beef that you may have prepared for this year's St. Patrick's Day gathering. Well, if you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate you subscribing. If you enjoyed this or any other video that you watch, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Well, thanks for spending time with me today in the kitchen, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. See you next time. Take care.